Wow, it has been one heck of a ride through the election period. Putting political ideologies aside, do we know who won the election? How will this uncertainty affect the stock market? Should you sell your stocks or buy more? Will we finally see our stimulus checks now that the election day has passed? What about our $10,000 EIDL grants? All this and more in today's special election results video. Hello and welcome to Stephen Carlson Show. I'm Stephen Carlson, and that's Clyde. I'm a tech entrepreneur, real estate investor, author, YouTuber, and volunteer paramedic. I don't know about you, but I cannot wait for this entire election process to be over with. I had hoped last night would be the end. Sadly, it's not. Then we can go back to focusing on much more pressing issues. Yet, this is the most important topic at the moment, and how the election chips fall can affect your wealth immensely. As of right now, which is 4:30 a.m. Wednesday morning, the day after the election, how do each candidate stand?
Putting aside Trump, putting aside Biden for a moment, tonight is an absolute pushback on the BS of the mainstream media. Even if some sort of crazy thing happens now and Biden wins, which does not look like it's going to happen, okay? Trump is in a comfortable position. Let me just run through it real quick. Right now, he's leading in Texas. He's leading in Pennsylvania. He's leading in Ohio. Arizona looks like it's going to go blue. I don't know that they've called that yet. Trump did get Florida. And Virginia, which was called very early on, it was very confusing because the numbers were showing Trump up by like 16 percentage points, and yet the way they were using the exit polls or extrapolating their numbers, a couple of the networks called Virginia very early for Biden. Well, now Trump, from what I'm seeing here, is up by 100,000 votes.
Right now, as it stands, it looks like Trump victory is very likely. I know this is not exactly what all of you guys want to hear, and like Dave Rubin has very elegantly put it,
I know a lot of you that watch this are not Trump people, or maybe you're begrudgingly Trump people, or whatever that might be. And by the way, I'm not, as someone that comes from a more libertarian perspective on things, I don't find my salvation in the president. I think Trump happens to be a very unique character, and for some reason, he happened to be the man we needed right now. But that doesn't make him Jesus, right? That doesn't make him king. But what it did make him was something that was very important at this particular juncture.
With this in mind, do we know for sure? Has Trump really won? Well, this is kind of where it gets sticky. As I and many others have predicted that individual battleground states will just completely refuse to call a winner. States like Pennsylvania, which showed Trump up by over 700,000 votes and are leaning towards Trump, still refuse to call him as the winner. But they will continue to count mail-in ballots for an indeterminate amount of time.
The Constitution leaves it to the states, the state legislatures, to establish the rules for voting. And part of the controversy that has been growing with this election has been the intervention of state and federal courts in changing those state election laws. Pennsylvania is indeed the most controversial. It not only allowed for an extension in which they would accept ballots, but they also said that there would not be a requirement that signatures match effectively, that it basically did away with that condition for accepting ballots. But also it said that even if the date, the postmark date on the ballot was unclear, you would give the benefit of the doubt to the voter. All of that really begs for challenges.
Unfortunately, it looks like we have another 2000 election quagmire, where the election will be decided in the courts rather than on election day by the people. Win or lose, the entire nation's election system needs a complete overhaul. And I think people that either lean to the left or to the right, this is one thing that we all completely agree on. But this is the system we have right now, and it is the system that will decide the outcome of this election. With all of this in mind, who the heck is going to be the winner, and what should we do right now for our stock portfolios? If the remaining of the undeclared states were called right now, Trump would add an additional 500,000 votes to his column, and he would have 283 electoral votes. That would completely guarantee him the win. If he loses any one of the battleground states, he most likely will lose the election. It is this reason that we can be completely assured the Biden campaign will take the results to the courts and will fight for each one of those battleground states. I've already covered in a previous video, link in description and in the card above, on what you should do with your stock portfolio if Trump wins or if Biden wins. You should check that out as soon as this video is over, because you may only have a few hours left to make changes to your portfolio. Looking at the pre-market right now, it seems like Wall Street is growing very concerned that the election was not going to be decided last night on the election day, and in the possibility that Biden could win through the courts. In my opinion, and remember, my team of chained up lawyers down in the basement want me to make it clear, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just some random dude on the internet with dogs in his studio. But in my opinion, I think that we will have a few days of ups and downs in the market until we have an actual decisive win called. Win or lose for any candidate, this uncertainty is what causes the most volatility in the market. Thank you very much for watching this special update video. Please make sure you click like and subscribe. Doing so really helps the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate it. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next one.